Hey everyone, I want to talk about some of the nutrition myths and compulsions that I fell into for the better part of 15 years, unfortunately, and how I got sucked down the rabbit hole of always thinking there was something wrong with me, why it was so hard to escape the cycle, how the physical symptoms would pull me back into compulsive cycles of counting calories and everything that has to do with conditional self-acceptance. All the tracking I did, the avoidance, the researching, the Googling, which I was like, oh, I don't Google, I don't research. And then I definitely was Googling and I definitely was researching why I don't watch any more podcasts on health, why I don't see a need to, et cetera, et cetera. And I just kind of moved throughout life and balanced things out. Before I go any further, please subscribe, hit that like button down below. Look for that direct message link from Phil. It's a great added benefit. We can get you in right away. The WhatsApp groups have been growing like crazy. I mean, I can think of one group in general, which is something you get when you come to a webinar or one-to-one. One group in general has grown by about 50 new people almost in about 6 weeks. And we put other people in other groups. So it's an amazing community. People love it. They love the resources that you get for being in the WhatsApp groups. And then we have those webinars at 8:30 p.m. UK time on Tuesdays. So I have a degree in exercise science, which then led me to go to chiropractic school. And I loved evidence-based research. I loved it. I loved the Layne Nortons of the world, the Renaissance periodization, the Mike Israetels, the Eric Helms. I was a member of Mass Research Review for a long time with Greg Nuckols and Mike Zordos, I think is his last name. I have a couple other friends who are in the professional realm of research and academia, and I will always have a place for that in my heart to a degree, but I have shut that chapter in my life, and I am much, much, much happier. Now, before I go into what happened to me, let me tell you how I live my life, because most people ask me that. I have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I try not to snack so much, or at all. I balance my portion control, and I eat whatever I want. And I have no restrictions on what I eat. Some foods might make my stomach a little bit more upset than other foods, but I try to balance that out, and I don't restrict myself to any degree. If I want to go out and buy some cookies, I'm going to buy some cookies. If I want to have pizza, I'm going to have pizza. But I try to balance it as best as I can because I do have a goal of being healthy, alert, and fit. And that's as much as I take it. The gym is the same way. I know that I'm going to work out on the days I work out. Massive compulsions around changing things. I don't follow any set routine outside the idea that I have. Let's say I have an upper body power day. I go in there and have fun. Some reps might be doubles and triples, might be 5s and 7s. Whatever it is, I have fun. I lift a lot to failure, and I don't worry about burnout anymore or overtraining because I spend so much of my time on that. So let's bring it back to the nutrition. Again, I was a member of Mass Research Review, if any of you know that, and I was a massive fan in the very beginning of the Matt Oguses of the world and Chris Lovatos and If It Fits Your Macros when it comes to Layne Norton and all those people. And I have a lot of their ebooks and I respect all of their work. And I think if you don't have OCD and anxiety, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but I think there's a much better world on the other side of this research doctrine and obsessive compulsive cycles. Remember, even though we have obsessive compulsive disorder, there are plenty of people out there that are obsessive and compulsive. They just don't have a full-blown disorder. I can think of numerous people I know who are obsessive and compulsive with very strong rigidity, but they don't have a full-blown disorder like we do. So there's all these different levels of that, and the principles apply. But the fitness industry is very addicting. It's based off conditional self-acceptance. It feels good to be in shape, but you gotta understand that the way you look, the leanness of your body, the muscle you have on your body is just one particular aspect of your life. I do it now because of the challenge, the fun, the routine, and of course, looking good is a good benefit, but it's not the entire reason why I do it. So I counted my calories on paper for 10 years. Yeah, no, more than that. I used to have the books down below of all the macros counted, so I had all the books down below. I did never use my Fitness Pal. I did If It Fits Your Macros forever. It destroyed holidays. Would always be thinking about, like, if I went over my calories on, say, my birthday, I would skip breakfast and lunch the next day, which people think is naturally the right thing to do. It's not the right thing to do. It's actually very compulsive and based off the fear of gaining weight. If my body gains weight throughout the years and my metabolism's slowing down, or I take some time off the gym, so be it. I will never make another nutrition change in my life. I will never back off on meals or do that. I don't think that gluten, dairy, sugar, or any of that, or GMOs is nearly as much as a problem as most people believe. People don't have quite the understanding, unless they come out the other side through personal experience, of how the perception and psychological latching in the mind to, say, a gluten fear will produce gluten sensation, allergy sensations. That is something that most people completely miss, especially in academia, since academia is primarily focused on physiological and structural changes, which is not the case when it comes to most things. That's one thing I really liked about Renaissance periodization. I don't really mention a lot of this stuff because this is what this video is about, but their book, Diet Book 2.0, great book, guys. You ever find the video? A lot of hard work went into that book. They have a huge section on dairy, gluten, sugar, alcohol sugars. It's primarily placebo. They really do believe that. It doesn't mean that with OCD, you'll be able to just say it's placebo, then get out of it. I had to accept that even if I had stomach problems forever, even if it led to colon cancer, I mean, I've had fleeting thoughts of that. Or do I actually have that? Should I research? Should I go to the doctor? Should I get more blood work? So it's more detailed with us. But, there are people out there with celiac and Crohn's disease. They have autoimmune conditions where their body attacks gluten, et cetera, et cetera. Most people are not celiacs and most people don't have Crohn's, just like most people are not alcoholics. Most people can balance alcohol, even spill over into binge drinking, and come back out the other side with no real effort per se if they put their mind to it and change their beliefs. So it's not what most people think, because you see all these videos, we're completely hyper obsessed. I mean, again, I'm going to just drop a couple names here. We got the the Rogan podcasts of the world, and we got the Huberman podcasts of the world. All these are extremely intelligent, hardworking individuals, but they're not particularly content, or I would say they're very rigid. And their nutrition and their supplementation. I take no supplements whatsoever. It's a personal choice. I'm not against supplements per se, but I stopped taking creatine. I don't take any vitamins. I don't take anything. It's just something I do, and I feel absolutely great. And I would say I have more energy than most. I think my habits are great. They're always improving. I'm always looking on subtle ways to change my belief systems, and that gives me the energy and the success I look for. I'm not going to be optimal. I don't have the best genetics in the world. I have moderately good genetics. I work with what I have, and that's just the way it is, and that's how I go. And I enjoy foods. But what I would do is, so I would change constantly. The fear of changing something, whether it was a diet structure, whether it was exercise routine, was all coming from the fear of not looking good. So I'll use an example. Let's say I would look in the mirror. We all know this, and I would flex my bicep. So I'd flex my bicep, and maybe I couldn't see like that outline right there. And then I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm not lean enough. I have to lose more weight. And then I would manipulate my diet. Or I would feel really good. I would go on vacation. I would drink a bunch of beer. I would get shit-faced. I would do what I do on vacations. And then I would come back and I would go, oh my gosh, I'm so bloated, and change. Or I would get really, really lean, which I've gotten very lean multiple times in my life. I very much struggle with anabolic steroids in the Jersey Shore days. And then what I would do is I would say, oh my God, I'm so weak. I can't stand being so weak. I can't do weighted pull-ups. I can't bench anymore. I can't do all these other things. How do I get myself out of this? And then I would bulk, and I would go into a bulking phase. So it's constantly this up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down of waves of change. And these changes were coming from these extreme mood swings that were perpetuating from belief systems. And those belief systems were, I can't stand being fat, I can't stand not having muscle, and I can't stand being ugly. But then I had to learn about the other benefits of exercise. I had to learn that we're all going to look like shit if we live till 90. And looks are great now and they give you benefits, but it's not the only thing that's important. There's many other characteristic traits that make people have great things going for them in their lives. And obviously the world is so sexualized and hyper-focused on looks and et cetera and blah, blah, blah. So I had to balance that out. I had to do no more fads, no more cutting things. Now look, there are certain things that don't sit well with my stomach. If I have a lot of ranch on pizza too many days in a row, it's going to fuck my stomach up, all right? If it doesn't mess your stomach up, you're a beast. But most people it does. So, but it's not the end of the world. I'm not afraid of the inflammation. I'm not afraid of what that's going to do to me. I deal with the symptoms and I enjoy my life. I'm going to eat what I want to eat. I'm going to drink what I want to drink within moderation. And I'm going to exercise how I want. And I'm going to let everything else even out. No more optimal, no more podcasts, no more ebooks. No more YouTube videos. No more this. As Rob and I like to say, go to the gym, eat some food, pick up the barbell, work out hard, enjoy your life as an extra added benefit to health and fitness, etc. So that's the way I live my life, and it's been great. Thank you so much for watching. I will definitely be doing at some point, hopefully this year, a exercise or fitness, health, something, fear webinar, and then we can go from there. Look for the direct message or WhatsApp link. We have so many people coming in. Slots are filling up like crazy. We almost have no slots left over the next couple of weeks, but we will try to fit you in because it's what we love and it's our passion. Have a good one, everyone.